Monday, September 9th. I hope your Monday's been magnificent, and I hope that your weekend was fantastic and the week has started out great for each and every one of you. Let's jump right in. Why are we here? Sebastian Rogers, gone from his home in Hendersonville 196 days today. 196 days ago, on February 26th, he was reported missing by his mother, Katie Proudfoot, his stepfather, Christopher Proudfoot. So this flyer here, if you need a copy of this flyer, if you want this flyer, if you can't get it yourself somehow, you can feel free to email me, silversonthescene@yahoo.com, and I will send you a copy of it. I can either send you through a photo or a PDF, any way you like. That way you can share this and keep the awareness alive. So our video tonight is going to be update on EZ Daze. That's right. I had a response from them through email. I'll tell you how that went down. What did they say? We're talking about security footage. We're talking about Scooby and CPGF. All this is alleged, and in my opinion, we'll talk about that as we go through. What I wanted to say is a kind of a recap of the week, the last 2 weeks. It's 6.5 months now, and we have FBI involved with reward. We have Dog the Bounty Hunter involved with reward. And, you know, the reward is one thing. That brings a lot of people out. But just talking about it, we constantly talk about this. I used to think that, hey, let's go out, find them. Let's boots on the ground. Let's go looking. Let's find them. We can't find them, folks, unless we keep the awareness alive. Okay? And you have so many people out there that are dropping flyers. They're putting these up. They're going into businesses. They're putting them on cars. You know, there's just so many. I have to throw one out there. Hendersonville, Tennessee, Terry Lynn. Go to her channel. Subscribe to her channel. She is putting these flyers out everywhere. Okay? She's also boots on the ground looking. So it's a combo deal. She's really doing great. And she and I have attempted to hook up to look for Sebastian. Unfortunately, didn't work out, but we will, I'm sure, one day very soon. Speaking of that, I wanted to bring up something just to remind people, okay? Because I had a question come to me in email maybe a week or so ago. I think I mentioned it on a video where someone was saying, hey, are you going to go back out and look for Sebastian? And then I had a comment today about the same thing. I am. I will never stop searching, as the song says. Just a recap on Silvers, right? I do have a full-time job, okay? And that takes up a lot of my time, especially Monday through Friday. Sometimes, like in this coming week, it's going to take up this Saturday. Okay, there's something being organized up in Hendersonville. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it, and it drives me crazy that I can't. But I can't get out of my obligation for work on. So I have to pay my bills, right? Have to pay my bills. So I do have that work schedule got thrown off recently by 2 weeks. Had that not happened, I would have already been back, boots on the ground, both in Mississippi. I call it because I don't go to Memphis. I go Memphis, but Horn Lake, Mississippi, South Haven, Mississippi, as well as Hendersonville. So I'm thrown off my schedule, but I will be, listen closely, back, boots on the ground, not within the next week, not this week, but the end of next week. So if I had to put days on it, you're looking at like 10 days or so. Silver's on the Scene. That's my channel. Silver's on the Scene. I'm on the scene. We'll be back, boots on the ground, very shortly, okay? And that leads me to this video and to several of the videos over the last week or so. As I've stated too, where do you search? Silver's on the Scene? Where do you search? Okay, do you just jump out and start walking? There's nothing wrong with that. If you're in Horn Lake, Mississippi, if you're in South Haven, Mississippi, if you're in Memphis, if you're in Hendersonville, Tennessee, start looking. Just start walking. Find a tree line and start walking. Because, ladies and gentlemen, he could be anywhere. Sebastian Rogers, we have to find him, right? Okay. But I like to put thinking into my equation, and that's where I've gone on my searches and my looking before, because I just kind of map it out as to what I know, what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, and I follow that. So that brings us to here. And this brings us to why I've contacted EZ Daze as much as I have, and why this weekend there was more contact. So let's jump right in. We're going to throw it up here. We're going to throw up a couple of things, right? It's about this right here. 17 hours. Christopher Proudfoot's RV. Okay? I need to know where to search when I jump back over to Horn Lake end of next week. And I think I'm going to focus here at the EZ Daze. So I need as much information about EZ Daze as I can get. And they've been so helpful. So let's jump into what happened. When I was on the phone with EZ Daze, going back, whatever it was, a week or so ago, 10 days or so ago, one of the things that came up with the security footage, I mentioned this. She was not sure if it would go back that far, but they were going to try. Okay? And that would have been, if I get my days right, that would have been last week. Yeah, because Labor Day was coming, right? Okay, so that would have been Tuesday, Wednesday of last week. I never heard anything. And last week I traveled South Georgia. Once again, let's get back to the full-time job. I was out there doing my business in South Georgia. And so I was able to get a couple of videos off, keep the awareness alive of Sebastian and keep his face and name and everything out there. And then Saturday I was able to jump into some emails. And I'll stop right there for a minute. Keep the comments coming. It's information. Keep the comments coming. It's information. And I am working a system to where I can get back to those comments quicker. I have to say now, when it comes down with the full-time job and with looking for Sebastian and with keeping the awareness alive with him, the emails are coming first. The emails are coming first because they tend to have more information and avenues and ways of where can we search next and what are the places that we need to be looking at, right? So those have been taken priority over the comments, right? But keep commenting because there's certain things in there. Now, I urge you to do this. If there's a comment out there and I've overlooked it or haven't seen it yet, okay, and you feel it's very important, please, silversonthescene@yahoo.com. silversonthescene@yahoo.com, okay? That's in my channel. It's in my description. Get me an email. There's been a few people who said, hey, I've commented a couple times. I wasn't replying, so they sent me an email. Send me an email, okay? But I'm working with Silvers too. The two of us working together to figure out a more efficient and quick way to get responses to your comments. Because look, we appreciate it. We appreciate the support. We appreciate your information. And as I've always said and will continue to say, when you're looking at this right here and you're talking about keeping the awareness alive, it takes all of us. All eyes on deck, all hands on deck. That's how we find them. That's how we get justice. So thank you. Keep them coming. Comments, emails. So leading to the EZ Daze. So Saturday, going through the emails, first thing I did is I actually sent an email. I said to Silvers too, I go, hey, I haven't heard back from EZ Daze on security footage. It's probably not good news. Let me email them this flyer. So I did. I emailed them this flyer. And got it, sent it to their email address so they would have it. And I asked them, hey, would you do us a favor? Would you post this in your office or maybe on your front door somewhere people can see? And then I took that opportunity to ask about the security footage. No, back up. Hold up. I didn't ask about the security footage first. Let's back up. Saturday, I actually asked about this. Scooby. Let's make sure we get it correct and get the information correct. So my first question, I shared this flyer. Please post if you will. Then I shared this. I asked this. Could you check another name? Scooby. Where does this come from? Well, this comes from an email where someone shared with me. I think I've mentioned it before on the video that Christopher Proudfoot, allegedly, in our opinion, maybe he's funnier than we know, because he doesn't seem too funny when he calls in, but maybe he, before all this, was a funnier guy. But he gives cartoon character names at restaurants. One particular restaurant, I believe this was in Alabama, said he gave so many different names, they finally ended up calling him Scooby. So I said, let's take a shot. So I sent them the flyer, check for Scooby. Wasn't very long. A few hours later, they came back and they said, thank you for the flyer, and no one with the Scooby name. Okay, so that was it. Put an end to that. They did go on to say this too, and I need to say this. They said that they don't think he was there. And where did they come to that conclusion? Just looking over the times of people that have been there, it seems like their park must be known for long-term stays, right? That doesn't mean that someone couldn't come and go, but just as an overall view, the way they see it, they don't think he's been there. Okay? So then, with that, I said thank you. And then I took the opportunity, since there was communication going on, to ask about this. Because they didn't mention it, and it was something we left open when we were speaking verbally. Did you get a chance to check the security footage? And the answer came back, no. They went to look, and unfortunately, their system doesn't go back that far. So, what do we know? We're striking out all the way around with EZ Daze. They're being very helpful. We're getting information, but Christopher Proudfoot, not registered. No one around his family names that we would know registered. Security footage doesn't go back that far. Scooby, a name that maybe would take a shot, not there. So all these things, nothing. They did say, well, maybe, maybe, and I think I mentioned this before, this was part of the verbal conversation, maybe he was staying with someone from work. In my earlier days in my career I have now, when I would go to particular places with a group, we would share rooms. We don't do that anymore, but we used to. Hotel rooms, that is. And, it may be in Bill's name and not Silver's name, right? And so if you went back and asked, was Silver's here? No record of me, because Bill was the one that was on the ticket or being registered and, took care of the bill and all that stuff. So the company knew that Silver's was with him, but if you just went and asked, was Silver's here, there would be no record. So it could be as simple as that. I do feel strongly about EZ Daze as a potential search location. Okay, I really do. I think this, or as most people have said, maybe allegedly Chris's parents or some other RV was here. But this is a big concern for me here. So boots on the ground in about 10 days or so, that is going to be an area to look. So when I'm thinking about, and let me stop here and say this, as I've said already, all of this is alleged and in my opinion. Alleged and in my opinion. The goal for Silver's on the Scene is to find information that leads him to areas to look. Because Sebastian is not here. If we knew where he was, we wouldn't be doing videos. We wouldn't be bringing awareness. We don't. That's why we look. So we compile our information and we find out where's the best place to go. Does that mean psychics sometimes? Absolutely. Does it mean remote viewing? Absolutely. Does it mean someone had a dream? Absolutely. Does it mean someone overheard somebody? All these things are possible, okay? But there's only so much certain people can do with the time given to them. So that's why we need everyone helping, right? I've already made contact that have come to me through these videos. We started with Christy, as everyone knows, and Christy is back and she's on the case. We know Tammy has come forward. Now there's Sandy, and I believe we have another Christy. So we are up to at least 4. There may be a 5th one, I believe, out there too. 5 different people that live in the Horn Lake, South Haven, Mississippi area that are willing to put these out. Tammy was putting these out this weekend, okay? And Sandy's out there doing things. Christy's out there doing things. So this helps me when I go, hey, there's a possible location, and I just cannot snout my finger and be there. Christy, Tammy, Sandy, Christy, someone, can you go look? And a lot of you went over and saw Christy on the Cases video. She was out there looking under that bridge. Okay? So for all of you, be safe. That's what we do. We be safe when we're out there. So I got to thinking, if it's not someone that he was working with, this right here. Did Chris have a girlfriend? Allegedly, in my opinion. Did Chris have a girlfriend? Allegedly, in my opinion. I know there's been kind of rumors of this, but follow me for a moment, folks. According to his own words, Christopher Proudfoot, he was not at home the entire month of February. 26 days until that day that they reported Sebastian missing. So there's 25 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way through the 25th. And he comes home on the 26th. It's what he told Nancy Grace. Allegedly, in my opinion, I just know my relationships. 240 miles is not that far, right? According to him, 3 hours and 37 minutes. According to me, 3 hours. Driven it 4 times. Each way, 2 times. That's not far to drive to come see your loved one. That's not far to drive for your loved one to come see you. Now look, I don't need to get into their relationship. It is none of my business. Except for the fact it may have something to do with this missing boy. And then it becomes all of our business. So is why Chris Proudfoot went back. Why did he go back for 17 hours? We know he brought the RV home. But was it also to see the girlfriend, allegedly, in my opinion? Is that why he stayed and spent the night versus coming back home to his grieving wife with her son missing? These are all questions, right? But the reason we might not be able to find out if he was here is there could be a person's name that none of us know. But at this point, I'll stop and say, if you do know, send me an email. Send me an email. Now, some people have mentioned that he was not at EZ Daze yet. He was at the actual site, the job site. It does make sense that he would have to go get that RV if he was on the job site and wasn't at work. I get that. Doesn't necessarily mean he had to bring it all the way back home, though. Right? He could have taken it to one of these parks, Yogi or EZ Daze. But the point is this. Is there someone else out there? And that's who the RV's name was in? Questions to ask. Okay? Whatever Chris does in his personal life, 5 girlfriends, 2 girlfriends, I do not care. None of my business. Sebastian is our business. We are just trying to find, as we talked about, getting back boots on the ground. Where are we going to look? Where is a list of places to search? Wherever his RV was, the night Sebastian went missing, and wherever that RV was when he went back to get it, is an area of concern. So we need to know where it was. That's why we're talking and speaking to these RV places. And someone emailed a bunch of others in the area, and we're looking into those as well. So thank you again for that email and for the information. Right? Because I believe 17 hours, I believe these parks have something to do with Sebastian missing. Why do I believe this? I've stated before. Katie came back with Chris once he was coming back to work. She came back. Therefore, I believe it has a connection to where Sebastian's located. So, If you have any information, we know Scooby's out. We know security footage is out. We know his name is out. Other names that people have suggested are out. But what about someone we know we may not be aware of? A close personal friend, allegedly, in my opinion, called a girlfriend. If someone knows something, please let me know. If you have a name, please let me know. Our goal is simple. Find Sebastian Rogers. Someone just doesn't vanish as he has. The goal is simple. Find him. Share this flyer. Email me if you need a copy. Email me if you have any information here. Okay? Just know this. If I don't get another email, I don't get any more information, we're still boots on the ground. End of next week. Be teaming up with the Sandy and the Tammy and the Christy and whoever else wants to, as we look again in Horn Lake. We look again in South Haven. If his RV was on the job site, I don't know how we can get access to that. That goes into more law enforcement. But we're going to continue looking. My goal is also to be able to get from the Memphis, Horn Lake, South Haven area over back to Hendersonville, as I believe strongly there's a spot there that I need to take a look at. So, there you go. There it is. So, update with all this. Keep the awareness alive. That's what it's about. The only way we're going to be able to find Sebastian is to keep the awareness alive. Once again, don't want to get into any drama or any of that. I could care less what people do, other than the fact of what do they do with this boy. Why is this boy missing 196 days? Why? Why is he missing? Where did he go? Where is he? Did someone harm him? We know my theory. Allegedly, in my opinion, taken from the home on the early morning hours of 2/26. And I believe he was taken across state lines, and he's somewhere like here. So, there you go. Hope I answered some questions with updates. Keep asking me all the questions. In my full-time job, I deal with a lot of customers. And I always tell my customers this. If you feel like I haven't gotten you something or haven't answered you the proper way or in a timely manner, please notify me. It keeps me on my toes. So thank you for the questions on, will you be back out searching? Absolutely yes. Will you stop searching? Absolutely not. The only way I stop searching for this boy is if someone finds him before I can. Okay? So there it is. Keep the awareness alive. Keep the awareness alive. That's how we find them. That's how we find him. And then we get justice. As always, thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your emails. Thank you for your information. Together as a community, we will find Sebastian Rogers. And as always, stay tuned. More to come. Have a great evening. Thank you. Have a great week. Thank you.